character that took off. And after trying so hard with something that didn't work, I think when he found a way to get people to respond, he said, that's it. This is the new way. This is my chance out. And he rode that all the way to the top.
And as soon as we recorded that, I was doing shows, getting little gigs around Detroit, in the Detroit area, little club gigs and things like that. And everything just started picking up. Like, you know, the tape started selling. There was a buzz. I would walk into clubs. People would automatically know who I was. I started making like a pretty big name for myself, like locally. The EP is what actually got me the deal with Dr. Dre.
The Slim Shady EP did a ton for Eminem. It was, you know, he got into the Slim Shady character, had some great songs on there, some of which ended up on the LP. And it was, you know, the vehicle that he started to use to send around, and Paul Rosenberg, you know, started to bring stuff to record companies and really try to sell him harder than he had ever before. The Slim Shady EP is, you know, basically the demo that ended up getting to Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre heard. It's the whole reason why we know that this guy, Marshall Mathers, it's the whole reason why we have an Eminem.
Travelling to Los Angeles to compete in the annual Rap Olympics, Eminem was subsequently invited onto the world-famous Wake Up Show, hosted by DJ King Tech.
The way the Wake Up Show is set up is, you know, we open the doors to all new young MCs coming through. Anybody who has some type of heart and wants to get on the mic and bust and got some type of credibility can come through. And it just happened to be that M was out here for a freestyle battle called the Rap Olympics, I believe. He came on that night, and it was Craig G and Juice and a few other more popular freestylers there. But as the show started to go, everyone started to realize this crazy white kid that was kind of outperforming everybody else. And after that show was over, his manager, attorney, Paul Rosenberg, said, hey, man, this is the most exposure we ever got. Do you mind if we keep coming back, or, you know, can you help us out some more? And I said, no problem. Whenever you want, bring him back, because I just like somebody with skills. I don't care if they're white, Chinese, Puerto Rican, black, Haitian, whatever. I don't care. And we just invited him. We gave him an open door, you know, season pass. Whenever you want to come up, come up. And I think it was about, you know, he came up at least 10, 15 times. And then I saw him one day, and he said, man, Dre heard me on the show, and, you know, we had a meeting with him. It went well. I think I'm going to sign to him. So we were proud of him.
Eminem's big break came in the form of Dr. Dre. He soon signed to the influential producer's Aftermath record label.
You cannot underestimate the significance of Dr. Dre in Eminem's success. First of all, obviously he's a musical mentor and an amazingly gifted producer who's great at helping an artist develop, as he did with Snoop. Beyond that, in terms of the authenticity and credibility factor in hip-hop, the stamp of approval from Dr. Dre is, you just really can't underestimate how necessary that was for a white rapper to get. Without that, you know, you're Vanilla Ice, or if you're lucky, you're the Beastie Boys. But if you have Dr. Dre, who's not only, you know, has such an amazing history in hip-hop, but is also not, you know, he's a very serious dude. You know, this is Dr. Dre from NWA. It just doesn't really get any better than that if someone's wondering if this kid is really worth their time.
Having two different sides of me, and like one of them I was trying to let go, and so a while I would look in the mirror, you know what I'm saying? I looked in the mirror and smashed it, and that was the whole, I don't know if you're familiar with the EP, that was the whole intro of the tape, was like Slim Shady was coming to haunt me, was coming to haunt Eminem, you know what I mean? And it was like that. Slim Shady killed Eminem, so Eminem's probably dead now. Life after death, or death after death. I'm still Eminem, man. I'm still Eminem, you know? Slim Shady is just, you know, just a like another part of me, you know. Dark, evil, like, you know, I don't know, creatively sick part, I guess.
relationship forged between Eminem and Dr. Dre would go on to produce 4 studio albums to date. These 4 albums are among the most successful and controversial in hip-hop, and they would propel Eminem to superstardom. It was the single My Name Is that would announce Eminem's arrival to the world.
My Name Is falls into the category of Eminem song that is the kind of spastic, happy, weird songs that sort of populate the world of his singles. You know, there's Without Me, there's The Real Slim Shady, there's My Name Is. You know, he always kind of had that as a great way to announce the new record or whatever. And much like Snoop Dogg with What's My Name Is was his first single, and it announced who he was. It's completely an undeniable song. It's kind of an amazing, it's a nursery rhyme. It will not leave your head. Like, I dare you, you know, it just won't. So it's stuck to people, but it was twisted. I mean, this guy sounds happy, just kind of like a kid who's eaten too much cotton candy when he's talking about, you know, I do more drugs than my mom, you know? Like, he's just saying the most insane and really kind of sad things, but is just completely so beyond caring that he's become almost just slap happy and like sugar high about the whole thing.
The single and subsequent album introduced Slim Shady to the world. The violent alter ego resonated deeply with audiences everywhere and ensured that Eminem's debut would become a staggering success.
Well, Slim Shady is to Eminem, I guess, what Mr. Hyde is to Dr. Jekyll, in a way. But there's also like the Roadrunner and the Tasmanian Devil mixed in there. There's just, Slim Shady was just a way for him to vent his frustration, but more than that, it was just the ultimate class clown persona.
It's, you know, it's that idea of irresponsible adolescent fantasy. You know, you've got this kind of, you know, the Slim Shady character is appallingly irresponsible. He goes around the world doing these appalling things and raping lesbians, whatever, and doing all these kind of dreadful, utterly politically incorrect things, you know, doing appalling things to sort of celebrities. And it's not a manifestation of power. It's about adolescent powerlessness. You know, you have these kind of fantasies because you actually feel very, very powerless. And I think that's the kind of the gist of the character.
You had more of a real kind of dichotomy between all Slim Shady type songs, meaning all cartoony, loopy, crazy, you know, just singing like just odes to, you know, getting beaten up and drugs and stuff. You switches between that to a song like Rock Bottom, which is about, you know, kind of Eminem's lowest moment, you know, just having no money, working a dead-end job, and that's delivered in this real laid-back, slow, more like Infinite, if anything. You know, he sounds a little bit like AZ or Nas or something, a little. But, you know, that dichotomy is very, very clear, and there's kind of no middle ground.
This persona play was to become even more apparent on Eminem's next album, the Marshall Mathers LP.
Over the years, Eminem's developed 3 different voices, 3 different masks to use, and he's become really skillful at juggling them, putting them on top of each other if he has to. I mean, there's sort of infinite possibilities, no pun intended. But yeah, he's got Slim Shady, who's his class clown, sort of avenging angel, you know, who basically beats up the bullies for him, takes all the drugs in the world, you know, goes and slaps your girlfriend, whatever. Does everything bad all the time. You know, Marshall Mathers is kind of the real, that's the kid who was beaten down, the kid who had a really, you know, tough life with his mom, the kid who didn't finish high school, whose girlfriend cheated on him, you know, who's a single father struggling at a dead-end job. And then you've got Eminem, who's both of them. You know, he's kind of the mastermind constructing how he's going to tell you his story and how he's going to